Sasuma, Sas, mother-in-law. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear these words? What do you picture? A sweet and innocent lady or a vamp in your life? Well, I think that would depend based on everyone's personal experience. I most often get this question from my friends and followers that Karen, how do you deal with your mother-in-law? How to make your mother-in-law happy? Is there a way in which she can start loving me as her own daughter? Let's find out answers to all of this in this episode. Hey everyone, I'm Karen and I welcome you all to a new episode of Learning Love Daily with Karen Das. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, then make sure you subscribe to it so that you don't miss out on any of my latest videos. Your mother-in-law is just like any other human. She's a mother at the end of the day. People often say, I don't understand my mother-in-law. She's so complicated to understand. But remember one thing. Ultimately, the person whom you're in love with, the person whom you're married to, your husband, he is nothing but just a reflection of his mother. All his teachings, his values, his upbringing, who has given him all of this? His own mom. So if you know your husband very well, and if you understand him, then I don't think it will be that difficult to understand your mother-in-law. So in today's episode, I'm going to be telling you different ways in which you can deal with your mother-in-law and do different things to make her happy. First and foremost, acceptance and getting rid of all negativity. You know, humans, when we tend to fall sick, when we feel sad or hurt or disappointed in life, where does it all begin? Here, in the head. So if you're not well and if you keep thinking you're not well, you'll start to feel even more depressed about it. Your recovery time will take more long because you're already feeling mentally sick about things in your life. You're feeling very low and you're probably feeling very disappointed with your own self. Similarly, when it comes to your mother-in-law, the first thing that usually comes to the mind of women is that she is nothing but just a villain in my life. The word mother-in-law itself brings a lot of negative vibes to you. But why should it? Because ultimately, she is just a mother and a mother to the same man you love. So the first and most important thing that you need to do is just get rid of all the negativity surrounding this term mother-in-law and think of her as nothing but a mother. Second most important thing is appreciation and gratitude. Time and again, try to compliment her, maybe on her appearance, on the food that she cooks, or the way she handles the house, the way she maintains the house. Try to compliment her on that. See, remember one thing, the two most important men in her life, your husband and her husband, that is your father-in-law. Because they are so used to having her around, maybe with time they must be forgetting to compliment her or appreciate her. So why not you do that task of appreciating her and just showing her gratitude? Tell her sometimes, mummy or ma or however you address her. Tell her, I really appreciate you for the woman that you are, for the way you've raised your son to be the wonderful man that he is. And I'm really fortunate to have a woman like you in my life as my mother-in-law. And I take pride of the fact. And someday I hope to be as good as a mother-in-law as you are. Say these sweet things to her. It will make her feel really good about her own self. Humans, they require some validation of their existence. Any human for that matter. And your mother-in-law too, at some point of time, now that she is no longer just a mother, now that she's also a mother to someone else's child, she's a mother-in-law. So that's the reason you need to give her that kind of validation about her being, her presence in the house. Number 3, tell her that you're absolutely dedicated to the family. So when a woman gets married, she leaves behind a home. It's not that she's forgotten her parents or forgotten her own family. It is just that now she has an extended family to look after. So be very open to her. Tell her that, Ma, now that I'm a part of this family, I would dedicate my whole life to this family. I would expect at the same time the family too should accept me, embrace me for who I am, accept me for the way I am. And I think when you are communicating such things to your mother-in-law, she too feels that my daughter-in-law is being so open about her expectations, and at the same time she is putting across what she feels. So when you do that, there is a certain kind of communication which comes across that your mother-in-law tends to feel that, okay, I am happy about the fact that my daughter is being honest. My daughter-in-law is being honest about her emotions or feelings. You can also tell your mother-in-law that, Ma, please accept me for who I am, and if ever I falter, if I make some mistakes, just forgive me. I'm still learning. I'm trying to be a very good daughter to you. So please forgive me if I ever make mistakes. So try to be as open as possible right in the beginning of your relationship. That tends to build the foundation or the main base of your relationship with your mother-in-law. The next most important thing is tell her that you want her to be your role model. You know, women love it the most when some other woman wants her to be their mentor. Usually that never happens and it's very rare. But when you upfrontly you'll tell your mother-in-law that, Ma, I want you to be my role model. I want you to teach me all the things that you have taught your son and the way you've managed this house. If you can teach me how to handle the kitchen, teach me your recipes, and I would love to learn a lot from you because I want to see you as my mentor. If you'll openly tell that to her, she'll feel absolutely good. She will feel that even in this generation, even in this new age, my daughter-in-law is saying that she wants to learn things from me. She will value your existence. Tell her that, Ma, sometimes if I learn your recipes, if I try to make the dishes that you have learned from your mother-in-law or from your family, if I try to replicate it, I know I may not be the best at it. I know I may just try to match at least 60 to 70% of what you've done, and I don't want to replicate it. I just want to try to match it. And if I even manage to do 60 to 70%, it will be a matter of pride for me. The next thing, surprise her with gifts. Humans love surprises, pleasant surprises. And a woman, she loves pleasant surprises, especially when it comes from another woman. So in here, you can just figure out from your husband what are your mother-in-law's likes, dislikes, what does she love the most, what does she desire the most. And based on that, you can give her gifts and surprises. And I'm sure she would love to have it from a person like you. Receiving a gift from a child who's maybe not your own child would maybe be more special than getting a gift from someone who's always been giving her gifts, that is her own son. So if you tend to give her a gift as her daughter-in-law, it will make more of an impact. On some days, maybe you can give her a foot massage or a head massage. Sometimes you can surprise her by probably just ordering food. Or sometimes, or maybe when it's her birthday, you can just make her birthday extra special by making her the super mom or the super woman of the house. That validation is very much necessary. The next most important thing is making her feel secured. Insecurities is something which can break beautiful bonds. When a woman's son gets married, there is always an anxiety or fear that she's losing her son to another woman. So when you get married, the most important thing that you need to do to win your mother-in-law's heart is to make her feel secured. Tell her, I am not here to replace you. I am not here to replace your values or your traditions. Nothing is going to change. Your traditions, your values, your culture, your beliefs, everything will stay the same. I, on the other hand, respect you for who you are. And your son will always continue to be yours. You will be the first woman in your son's life because you've given birth to him. You've raised him. You've brought him up to be such a wonderful man. So I give you credit and hats off to that for you. And in the meanwhile, you should encourage your husband to go and spend quality time with his mom. Tell him that, you should be spending more time with her in the weekends or during the weekdays. Give her her attention, give her her respect that she needs. Spend time with her, talk to her, make her feel good, make her feel valued and appreciated. And when your husband is actually spending time with his mother, don't go around sneaking. Don't go to keep checking on him or to keep checking on what they are doing, what they are talking. Try to, overhear the conversation. Don't do that. Give them their space. The reason for that I'm telling you is because when your mother-in-law knows that your husband is going and spending time with her, that her son is there with her without the intervention or without any interference from her daughter-in-law, she knows that her daughter-in-law too is feeling secured about her relationship, both with her husband as well as with me, that is with the mother-in-law. The next thing is to listen to her. women love to talk, but at the same time, they also like people, other women, listening to what they're saying. So you tell her that, Ma, I would really appreciate, I would really love it if you can share all your emotions with me, your joys and sorrows. Say now, even I'm a family member, even I'm a part of this family. So whatever is there in your heart, whatever you feel, just you can come and talk to me and I would be there for you without having to pass any judgments or anything. I'm always going to be there without any judgments for you. Also remember one thing that you can freely talk to her and joke with her, but never make jokes about her or never make fun of her. Sometimes, there would be a situation you're sitting with your husband and your father-in-law, mother-in-law sitting over there. And in that conversation, your husband just passes a joke on his mother. He says something funny and he just cracks a joke on her. And at that time, your mother-in-law starts laughing. She has a good laugh. What happens is, when you tend to pass that same joke, exactly the same joke on her, she does not laugh. She finds it as an insult. Why? This is human psychology. For her son is not the perfect guy. He's just the kind of boy that she has raised, but still she does not think of him as the perfect boy. But you, on the other hand, as a woman, she thinks that you are her ideal bahu. She wants you to be perfect, pitch perfect, which may not be, because we are all humans. We also have our flaws. So how much ever possible, try to avoid, or I would say just completely do not pass any jokes or comments on her. Also sometimes you would notice that when you're sitting with your family and they all are talking, joking and all that, your father-in-law and your husband, they may crack jokes on her, on your mother-in-law. And at that point of time, you should not laugh along with them. Instead, you should stand by her, defend her, try to take her side. Because when both your father-in-law and your husband are trying to joke about her and she wants someone to take her side, so the best way you can win her confidence and trust is if at that moment you stand by her and defend her. You will automatically win her trust. The next thing out there is mutual understanding. You should upfrontly tell your mother-in-law that, see, because of the generation gap between us both, our thought processes, the way we look at things, our perspectives, our values or our cultures may be different. It may or may not be different. But in case if there are differences, let's try to come to a mutual conclusion. If there's a particular problem at hand, let's try to understand what solution would work well for that particular problem, and let's try to come to a proper conclusion where both of us are at a win-win situation. So that way, we'll ensure that we don't, even though we have our share of differences, we don't end up having any misunderstandings, or we don't end up holding grudges in our hearts against each other. So we have to be very open about this. Next is no judgment. Absolutely no judgment. So what happens is, the reason why a mother-in-law or a daughter-in-law, the bond sometimes never strengthens is because of the fear of judgment. So you need to tell your mother-in-law right from the beginning of the relationship that, Ma, no matter what, if there is something you want to learn from me, maybe it is some social media or how to use some application on the mobile phone or something new, some latest trend that is out there, feel free to come up to me anytime and ask me. I will not judge you. I will not judge you that she does not know even this much, or how come she's not learning about this. Just ask me. I will help you regardless of whatever. And I will not even think of you, or I will not judge you on any basis. But if there is something that I want to learn from you, and if I come to you, I expect that even you should please not judge me, because I'm also learning and I want to be as good as the way you are. The next thing is parenting. Now sometimes, let's say for instance, you don't have kids. So your mother-in-law, maybe after 1 year of marriage or probably after 2 years of marriage, she'll start pestering you. When are you going to take kids? When are you going to start a family? She might start pestering you for it. So don't get irritated, don't get annoyed. There's a way of dealing with it. There's an approach of calming her down or convincing her or persuading her to believing what you stand for. So tell her, Ma, don't worry, we are planning for it. We'll definitely try for it. We want to have kids. We want this family to flourish, to prosper, to have its generations, and we are trying for kids. But at the moment, I am not mentally, physically, emotionally, or financially ready for it. I want to ensure that when your grandchild comes into this world, your grandchild will be the most happiest and will get the most fruitful and caring environment that it deserves. So please give me my time. Please give me and my husband the time. And I'm sure very soon, by the grace of God, we'll have our own kid. Now, in instances where you already have kids, there maybe your mother-in-law could start giving you advice on how to raise the kid or how to educate the kid. In those cases, you can just tell her, Mummy, see, as per today's generation, as per the new era, the changing times, I would like to raise my kids in this manner, in this particular fashion. Because it is very important that I need to know what is currently happening in the environment or in the society. And based on that, I have to raise my child so that my child doesn't end up becoming a laughing stock in the society. But at the same time, I will keep coming to you whenever I require any advice, and I will never shy away from taking your advice, but I will only implement it if I feel it is suitable and relevant as per today's times. Avoid back answering. Let your husband bridge the gap between you and your mother-in-law. Try to avoid back answering to her. Try to respect her. If there is something that you feel that maybe she's taunting you or she's passing some comments on you, you might feel the urge to back answer or to give back at her. But I would say totally avoid doing that. And I can tell you this thing by my own experience. See, mine is a love marriage. So our culture, our faith, our traditions, our religion, it's completely different between me and my husband. So when I just got married, initially there was a challenge in terms of bonding with my mother-in-law. Even though my in-laws don't stay with us, they regularly keep visiting us and we visit them. And almost every alternate day or every day I talk on the phone to my mother-in-law, to my mother. So what usually happens is my mother-in-law is she's a very sweet and a very naive woman. That way she's a wonderful lady. But like every human, even she has her own weaknesses, even she has areas of improvement. And in her case, no doubt she's an absolutely caring and loving woman. She's a little rigid, a little stubborn, I would say. She likes to stick to her own set of rigidity, or I would say her values, which is not wrong. If you love wearing a sari, that's your choice. But you shouldn't insist on someone else to do the same thing because maybe that is not their choice or that is not their tradition. So what used to happen was she used to sometimes insist that why don't you wear a sari or why don't you cook this only particular dish. It is a part of our culture, you should do it. Sometimes it's okay, but every time giving in to that rigidity, it tends to get a little annoying. And sometimes, when your mother-in-law tends to taunt, I'm sure most of you women would be knowing sometimes or the other in their life, their mother-in-law would have probably taunted them. So one day I was just cleaning the kitchen and my mother-in-law called up and she said, what are you doing? How are you? What are you doing? So I said, I'm just cleaning the kitchen. And she was like, why? But yesterday you all had ordered food, right? So what is the need to clean the kitchen? Why do you have to clean the kitchen? I had ordered food yesterday, but then I cook on the other days, right? So I have to clean my kitchen. Now, I didn't know how to answer her that because I was afraid that maybe if I just tell her this thing, if I try to back answer her, she would feel offended and she would take it in another way. So what's the best thing that I did? I went and spoke to my husband. I told my husband that she's saying something like this and I didn't know what exactly to tell her because I feel maybe she'll feel offended about it. And when I confided in my husband, I did not confide in a way that I was complaining about her. Never do that. Never, when you're telling your husband anything about his mother, never put it across in a way that you're complaining. Put it across in a way that she said this to me, but I don't think it is right. Probably it is, maybe she thought of it or she's having some misunderstanding. Should I directly tell her or you want to just, in a casual conversation, can you just put it across? So yes, try to get your husband to be the bridge between you and your mother-in-law, and that is essential because no one knows her better than her own blood. Because why? What I said in the right beginning of the video, he is nothing but a reflection of her. If you can understand him well, you can understand her well. So that is why you try everything and still if things don't work, try to make him that bond or that strength or that bridge between you and her, so that your relationship with her goes to a beautiful level wherein you both are no longer just mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, you both end up being best friends. And I'm not saying that is not possible. That is definitely possible. If you try your best from your end, you follow all the steps that I told you, including this step of getting your husband to be the bridge. If you follow all of these with period of time, I'm telling you, you'll be able to successfully build that bond between you and your mother-in-law. And I'm telling you, she'll be the most happiest to have you in your life. So that's it for this episode. If you enjoyed watching this video, then do give it a big like and share it with all your friends. You never know which friend could actually benefit from watching this video, and maybe later they could even thank you for it. And if there's any other relationship topic that you want me to cover, then do write in the comments section below and also tell me your feedback regarding this video. Every week, I make new videos on different relationship topics. So make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that you get notifications every time I post a new video. Okay then guys, see you next week with yet another episode on Learning Love Daily with Karen Das. See ya!